allows him to be out on the map, keeping NvmOOnGLaDe's army at home and getting kind of a good scout on exactly what his composition is and how aggressively he's expanding. So I like this play, again, from Rossi here.
Yep. And it looks as if NvmOOnGLaDe is going to scout this out again with some beautiful timing on that Overlord just heading through. He's going to catch that there are two reacted barracks there, along with the factory just sitting there trying to look pretty, and a tech lab on the third racks just taking up to grab that stim, grab the combat shields. There's going to be a couple of medevacs out as well. He's even going to see the medevacs that were there as well. So he's going to be a big signal of what's to come here from Rossi. Now, I don't know, may we see that that Slayer-style elevation up into the main, perhaps? I don't know. Do you think that's still viable these days?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think you should make use of your first two medevacs. I think at least moving out with them like Rossi is here, poking up, seeing what kind of damage you can get done, and maybe catch NvmOOnGLaDe off guard if he's cut units for too long. And the Zergling speed is just finishing up here. Is he going to get us around on all these Hellions? One of them definitely will go down. The stim now on these Marines going to move them up. So yeah, NvmOOnGLaDe right now is going to be making a ton of Zerglings and Banelings, which is very good for Rossi. Although NvmOOnGLaDe is already at 60, this is a time where Zerg could be trying to drone up more and get a third base, but we see NvmOOnGLaDe does not have that third base. So a nice pressure here, although as soon as Rossi sees no third base, I think he should just immediately turn around and go home, which it looks like he's going to do, yeah, because he knows right now NvmOOnGLaDe's going to be making a ton of units, so he's just going to go home with this army. He's forced a ton of links to be made. There's no third base, so he's going to be feeling really comfortable about his position.
Yep. And this is going to sort of let him just continue on with what he was doing. Of course, now getting the siege mode on the way. The couple of extra racks are also being constructed as well. But meanwhile, in the middle of the map, the Banelings are getting into position. It looks like the Lings might try and get a little capture on these units if they can. They're sweeping around the backside. The medevacs may try and lift them. I'd love to see the Hellions on the high ground. That could be quite interesting. But the Banelings now have their rolling speed. They're going to be rolling around. Rossi may look to try and lift inside the main. That is perhaps exactly what he's going to do. I don't know. No, he's just sort of moving into a good position here. And NvmOOnGLaDe has now got all of his forces on the low ground here, and they're just going to sweep in. There was some inside the main as well. There were actually a ridiculous amount of Lings that have been created here as part of the defense against this potential attack here from Rossi, and that gets cleaned up, and that is not the greatest position there for Rossi. He's going to be down quite a bit in his supply. He's going to need to shore up his defenses here, considering there are a few Banelings rolling across. In fact, there's going to be more Banelings. As we've mentioned earlier, NvmOOnGLaDe loving his Banelings. He's going to morph in another, how many is that, 37 Banelings here. So he's going to have just a small amount of Banelings that are just about to roll up the ramp here, and Rossi is in for a hell of a time, and he does see them with the tanks firing away. The Banelings just say, hello, we're coming through. And here he goes.
Oh, so much damage. Oh my god, the Baneling is cleaning up every SCV down there at the natural. Now trying to break into the main base. That one siege tank on the high ground, 22 kills. It is a commander doing its best. Now it looks like Rossi is going to clean this up. Has he taken too much damage though? Let me see. How many workers? 24 SCVs. This is looking a lot like that game on Cloud Kingdom. Rossi kind of just losing so much there. He does have his third orbital still. And it looks like NvmOOnGLaDe is just making a ton of Zerglings right now.
Oh wow,
I'm gonna try and
there's
move
actually
in.
a drop inside the main as well. I totally missed that, sorry guys, but there was a drop there. It did actually get inside, cleaned up a few of the drones. He tried to even up the count, but only got a few drones there. So not the greatest sort of win there from Rossi to try and fight back, but he's... you know, he's not as bad as it sort of looks. As we mentioned before, when we were doing that little analysis on the Cloud Kingdom game, it's not like he's in the most ridiculously horrible, you may as well GG right now position. He's suffered quite a lot. He's lost the 24 SCVs, as we mentioned, but you know, he's got a third orbital. He's got He's got that 3 mule potential. He's got the 3 SCV construction potential. He just needs to get these supply depots up to reaffirm his supply count, and then he'll be sort of okay. He just sort of needs to bide his time and get some good drops off, and he is doing that. Getting some Marine Marauder further inside the main, perhaps going to target down this lair that is switching into the hive as well, but no, he goes for the spawning pool first, going to try and get into a good position to defend himself here, and he does move a couple of these units around, and here comes a surround from MoonGlade. Lynx is now streaming in, they're going to try and do what they can, but there is so much damage coming out of these Marines and Marauders. They do only have 1-1, but they're getting so much like such a great cost efficiency there, just taking down quite a lot of those Lings. Did get some of the drones that were there as well. Got a few extra drones, got 4 extra drones, and got a good punch on that lair as well. So he, you never know. He could come back with like a double Marauder drop and just try and take care of that lair pretty quickly. That might help him out a bit, but of course the lair that gains a bit of health once it switches into the hive, doesn't it? Because it goes from 2,000 to 2,500. Yeah, so. I don't know, things are still looking a little bit even at the moment, and in fact Rossi is just about to creep in front on supply count as well, but he's doing quite a lot of damage. I really like what he's doing here. He's cleaning up creep, cleaning up the extra bases, and just sort of doing drops all over the place as well. So, where are you? What are you doing right now if you're MoonGlade? Do you sort of shore up and do a lot of harassment, or do you sort of just say, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to build up something and attack?
Nah, MoonGlade right now is just trying to tech up the hive. He's going to defend until he gets that hive up. He wants to make sure he gets a 4th base down as well. He's only on 4 gas right now, which is can't really sustain hive tech. He barely sustain just infestors off of the 4 gas. So he's going to want to get those 2 gases down to his 3rd. He wants to get a 4th up right now, get up to 8 gas, so he can really start pumping out those hive tech units and just defend against the drop pressure from Rossi while he does that.
And now the tech for Rossi is he does have the armory out. We've got the eBay's not actually researching anything just at the moment. I think he's just trying to make sure he has enough defense for this 3rd base. But the Marines have +2 on their weapons and +1 on their armor, but they're going to have a little bit of trouble defending against this base here. They're going to try and run to the back to get into a good spot. The tanks at the high ground and the low ground as well. Not enough, and a huge fungal growth there for MoonGlade. Baneling's just rolling through and destroying every single thing. In fact, the SCVs and the mules that were at the 3rd base have been removed as well, and that really sets Rossi back quite a lot. He's lifted this 3rd. He's not going to be mining for quite a while here, and it looks to re-establish this is also going to be quite a lot of trouble here, because these infestors still have a little bit of energy left over, and as we can see, the Lings are just going to force back these units before they can re-secure their spots. So Rossi is going to have a little bit of trouble here with that, and he did attempt another drop just inside the main, but was not able to get too much done because there were some Lings prepared by MoonGlade. He's like one of those, he's like a chef who's prepared something earlier, because those Lings are just in position every single time. So MoonGlade is perhaps starting to look in like he's really establishing himself here with this fire on the way and that hive tech already prepared.
Yeah, and MoonGlade kind of just proving that I don't know what I'm talking about. He's not defending at all. He wanted to move in and put in as much pressure as he could, try and shut down this 3rd base from Rossi. But again, Rossi is playing very, very well considering how much damage he took early. He's only a few supply behind, but it looks like MoonGlade is getting that hive tech up the spire, almost done. So it looks like he's going to be going for those brood lords, and again, like we talked about in the pregame, I think that's the right choice, and really the only choice on this map. It's just so narrow in the center. It's really hard to make Ultralis effective. It's even narrow if you want to try and engage into that 3rd base. So he's going to go for the brood lords so he can siege these outer expansions from Rossi.
Yep. And the spire just about to complete. We did have a little bit more harassment down at the 4th base for MoonGlade, so he didn't actually lose too much, because once again, MoonGlade well prepared for everything here, and it looks like his getting sort of flashes of July Zerg here with this aggression. He's heading into the middle here, spreading out the creep. We'll hopefully see these creep trimmers just jump out ahead and get some more spread through the middle. But some tanks up on the high ground. I love this. Yeah, this is something a little bit Brood War-ish to me, is putting these tanks up here, and I don't think we ever saw it too much. Of course, this map has sort of fallen out of all the tournament level map pools, but these tanks on the high ground is something really cool to see. I love seeing that. So we'll see what MoonGlade is going to do, because there is going to be a triple drop inside his main. We've got what are these tanks doing up here for Rossi? I think he's just rallied to this corner section here. Really could use those out on the map. But he's starting to establish his dominance here on this third base. If these tanks sit here in a nice spot, and if this command center, I'm assuming, you reckon that's going to be a planetary in a second?
Not sure. He might end up making that a planetary. I think he's going to want to try and use that to take a fourth base, though.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Looks like Rossi
and there's that huge drop.
Yeah, there it is. Gets inside, but again, beautiful spread on the fungals from MvmOOnGLaDe. He it drops all over there, and then the Marines Marauders just may as well just finish up their will, because they are going to die straight away, and die they did again. So this hatch has been sort of on half-life for the majority of the game, and of course now it's a hive, and it's still on just over half-life as well. So MvmOOnGLaDe needs to be a little bit careful of that, but he's been all over the map every single time, and I'll tell you why. If you have a look at MvmOOnGLaDe's vision, he's been watching every single sector of this top section here. Even down on the bottom side, we've got these overlords just spread around the map, making sure that he has vision everywhere. We'd love to see these guys actually spread out a little bit, but no matter. Rossi now starting to move through the middle. He's looking like he's perhaps going for that sort of mid-game spread here, but the Broodlords are on the way. We've got a total of 9 Broodlords now just floating across the map here. They're going to have to take care of these tanks on the high ground, because the Lings are not going to have a fun time of that. And there they go, dropping down some of those Broodlings. And here we go, so it looks as if Rossi's time has come. Perhaps MvmOOnGLaDe is just going to roll through the rest of this, going to try and escape with the tanks as fast as he can. But unfortunately the tanks are very slow, and those Broodlings are ridiculously fast. And MvmOOnGLaDe is just setting himself up. He's got the Broodlords at the front, we've got the Ling, Baneling, and Infestor just backing off at the moment, just trying to bait in some of these units here. And we'll see if Rossi is going to fall for that, and we'd need Admiral Akbar around, because obviously that will be a trap, no doubt about it.
Yeah, definitely, and Rossi's just going to want to try and hang on for as long as he can, creep his siege line back to try and keep the Lings off and buy time for his Vikings to get out, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get it enough out in time. His Marine count is really starting to dwindle here, and MvmOOnGLaDe is just setting up to come in for the killing blow. Oh, here come one Viking, one Hero Viking trying to tackle this Broodlord force, but it looks like MvmOOnGLaDe is going to move in now. Here come all the Lings and Banelings crashing in. Oh, the Marines' huge fungals going down on top of everything, and the Broodlords and Infestors are just going to clean up everything else. Looks like Rossi's going to GG, and there it is. The GG, well played. Good game there.
That was a pretty good game from both players there. We saw a lot of back and forth at the start. We saw Glade just fending off that initial attack there with some really good sandwiching tactics, and everyone loves a good sandwich when he was just holding off that initial Marine Marauder, Hellion, and Medevac attack at the start. And then just said, you know what, I've got 7,000 Lings already, let's just make some Banelings and just roll through, and he did. And to Rossi's credit, I mean, he held off the attack, did lose, like, obviously 20-something SCVs, but still came back and sort of said, you know, I'm not just going to give up straight away, I'm going to come back and we'll try and play again. So, yeah, it was a really good game.
Yep. And kind of surprised that MvmOOnGLaDe didn't go for like more super aggression. He was kind of defending against the early pressure there from Rossi, but he made a decision that I thought he should have made in the Cloud Kingdom game, which was as soon as he went for that big attack in the natural, he just went ahead and droned up and got like a 30 worker lead at that point in the game, which is the better decision. So any of you guys out there, if after a crushing blow like that, you don't need to always go for the killing blow. You can just take your advantage, like Artosis is famous for saying, when you're ahead, get more ahead. Just go ahead and, you know, take an economic advantage off of a huge win like that.
Exactly. And, you know, as we saw, there were a couple of spots there where you sort of look at what was happening, and MvmOOnGLaDe was sort of, may have been thinking, you know, or I'm sort of struggling a little bit at this point, but he reassured his position. I think he pointed out that he only had like 4 gas at one point when he had 4 bases. He sort of reassured that, got the extra gas up, got the Infestors out, got some Banelings, and then the Broodlords, of course, and then just was in a really good position just to sort of sweep back and sort of take the map back again.
Yeah.
So we are going to the next game, which of course is game number 5. We've got MvmOOnGLaDe up 3-1 at the moment. Rossi is having a little bit of trouble joining the game. In fact, both the guys are having a bit of trouble joining the game. I'm not sure what is going on, but rest assured we'll get it going as soon as possible. So it's a best of 7, so if NvmOOnGLaDe wins this next match, he will, of course, take the win here in this live show match from down at the Paragon Hotel in Circular Quay in Sydney. Thank you to those guys. Of course, thanks to Horizon and, of course, Grad Connection and TT Esports for helping us out with the event. Hello to everyone in the crowd there at Paragon Hotel as well. Hope you're all enjoying it. We're having a lot of fun casting it here. If you're in the chat or on my live stream, I hope you're also having a bit of fun here with this match from Down Under. Joining me is my buddy from, I don't know, what's up above, I guess, in America. Up in America, my good buddy, Omerta, who also joins me for late night Imber discussions. If you're ever wanting to watch a little bit of a sort of a strategy discussion show, it's on at around about 1 AM. What's your time zone? Your EST? EST in America, or it's on at around about sort of 3 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. We have a little bit of a chat about strategy. We look over some replays that have been either sent in to me or that I can grab off the magical internets, and yeah, we sort of just talk about that. So make sure if you can, you tune into that as well. Dropping some frames at the moment. I am sorry for those guys on the stream. I'm trying to fix it. Alright, should be alright on the stream. Let me know if everything is looking good. Hopefully it is. We're just having a bit of trouble getting everyone on in the game at the moment because Rossi's having a bit of trouble joining. I'm not sure why. Battlenet, 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 Battlenet. Alright, so we're just waiting for Rossi to get in the game. I don't know exactly what's happening. If you're at the Paragon Hotel, please feel free to tweet a picture to me. That's at DuckvilleLol, and I'll show it on the stream of you guys partying it out there at the bar, having some drinks. What is going on? Alright, so we've got Rossi. He was just actually in a he was just watching the replay of the previous game. Please be sure to tweet and all that sort of stuff that of the stream, so everybody else can come and have a look as well. And we'll get started in just a second. Back?
Yeah, sorry about that.
So good. What's Ognus going on about?
He was talking about or someone using Overlord creep and offensive spawns. I don't know what context it's in, but I remember an ST doing that back in the day to bust Forge expands. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Are there VODs for Pro League anywhere?
Yep.
You know?
They'll be on. I just tweeted it to Artusis.
Okay, cool.
It's
I definitely want to watch them.
Oh look, everybody tweeted it. Just waiting to see if the players are ready. Rossi's ready. Is Glade ready? Yes, we are. Here we go. We are in game number 5 of NvmOOnGLaDe versus Rossi for the APL show match. Thank you for everyone tuning in on the stream. We've had certainly a good amount of people on the stream there, and everybody down at the Paragon Hotel. Thanks to Horizon, TT Esports, and Grad Connection. Yeah, we've had some really good games. It's been quite fun. Now, game number 5, of course, if NvmOOnGLaDe takes this, he takes the victory here. We've got him up 3-1. Starting up at the top left-hand side, we're back on Ohana. I'm not exactly sure why we're back on Ohana and not another map, but is our purple NvmOOnGLaDe here. And down at the bottom right-hand side in the red is our Terran player Rossi. So we're back here again in this sort of best of 7 situation, match point. What do you do if you're Rossi here? Do you reckon?
I mean, I'm interested to see what he does, actually. The first time we saw him on this map, he went for that double armory mech build and just kind of got right-clicked by roaches because he had one tank without siege mode. So I'm interested to see if he wants to go for a mech play again. It seemed like NvmOOnGLaDe knew that Rossi liked to go mech, just by the way he prepared getting those really fast roach upgrades, without really getting a full scout of Rossi's base. At least I don't think he did. So we'll have to see if Rossi tries to go for that again, or if he wants to switch up his play.
Yeah, and we've discussed it before on late night Ember discussions that this can actually be a really nice map for it. We'll just have a look in a second. That NvmOOnGLaDe drone is back. It's inside the main, just poking away at that SCV. It only gets a couple of hits on this time. Previously, we've seen this drone get like a bunch of hits and reduce the SCVs to almost no health. And it looks like one of our observers is lagging. But we'll keep an eye on that. But yeah, we sort of discussed that this map can be very good for picking up the mech tech, because you can sort of sit in this position here, and as Rossi, you can sort of, I'm just going to draw it on the stream for you guys, but unfortunately for you guys live, you won't be able to see it, but at the natural expand, you can sort of sit here and just sort of wall off this position here. You knock out these rocks, and then you can just sort of sit here on 3 bases with a nice wall across here, tanks behind it, you got some Vikings if needed, and just sit in a really nice position and sort of sit there like an old school sort of Brood War, Terran versus Protoss, where a Terran will sit there until they get a lot of tanks and vultures and all that sort of stuff, and have 3-3 on their mech units, and then just sort of move out and say, well, let's try and deal with this if you can. So I think that may have been something that Rossi may have been going for, but as we pointed out, he sort of struggled a little bit because he went for a third base. He went for the third command center very quickly, and also got the double armories as well. So we'll find out if he is going to go for that same sort of thing here, and he has opened up the same way, at least for the moment.
Yeah, and I like the double armory play. I just felt like his third command center was a little bit too fast in that last game. Oh, that is a bunker going down there.
It certainly is. It's a very odd spot
That is really interesting. Alright, what that bunker is going to allow him to do is really shut down the creep, if he is actually able to finish it, but it looks like NvmOOnGLaDe's not going to have any of that, sending out 2 Zerglings to stop that bunker from going down. But here we go, 2 Marines are going to come help defend this bunker. Is he going to be able to do it in time? Oh, yep, he's going to save that bunker. So this is really cool. I've actually never seen this before, but I feel like I know what Rossi's trying to do here. He's just going to set this bunker up to prevent any creep spread from going down and just kind of put some pressure on. This is now something that MoonGLaDe has to worry about. MoonGLaDe is getting a spine crawler to try and defend against any potential harassment, but looks like the reactor is just finishing up on that barracks, so Hellions will be following this up. But this is very, very cool by Rossi. I'm glad to see this.
Yeah, it's sort of, it's also interesting considering the recent change to the Queens, because I mean the Queens, like, while they won't be able to stay out of range of the Marines, because the Marines have, I believe it's 9 range when they're inside the bunker, they can certainly still help out. And I mean, if the spine crawler finally gets across to a in fact, no, now that I think about it, there is no position for that spine crawler to get to poke it.
Nope.
No.
No, there isn't. Not from the high ground, at least.
Yeah, that's very cool. Alright, fair enough. Well, that's a little bit of an interesting play here, as you said. So, Rossi is going to be churning out a few Hellions here. As we can see, we've got that reactor on the factory there. We've got a starport also. Oh, okay. So he's going to deny the creep and any sort of push out here from MoonGLaDe while teching up to the Banshees, it looks like. So we've got the starport just switching over to the tech lab. Probably see Cloak, maybe? He's got enough for it. Yes, he does. He starts that up and going to start up a Banshee in a second as well, I would assume. He is just dealing with a little bit of an attack on that bunker. It finally does go down. Yeah, so this is going to be a follow-up. We've seen... is this? Do you reckon this will be that same sort of style that that you know some of the other Terrans have been using? I think Finn 4GG was using it a little bit, where you do some pressure there with the Hellions, and then also get the Cloak Banshees inside and do some harassment with them. Do you reckon that's what we'll see?
Yeah, definitely. And MoonGLaDe, in the meantime, has been doing something completely different from his first 4 games. He's got that really quick gas, got quick Zergling speed, and is pumping out a ton of Wings and Roaches right now. So he's going for a huge attack. These 4 Hellions from Rossi are going to see all the Roaches coming. He's getting a wall off kind of completed there. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to finish that wall off in time. Only has the 1 Marine in a bunker. He's going to be really hard-pressed to hold this attack.
Yeah, this is a big commitment here from MoonGLaDe. He's actually going to have no way to defend against this Banshee at all. So the Banshee will certainly be able to do, you know, if he had all the time in the world, he could certainly take care of these Roaches and the Lings, but they do get inside regardless. SCVs are not repairing the bunker, and the bunker goes down quick smart. The Roaches just saying hello and busting in. The supply depot raising into the main. There is 1 Marauder there. Where is the Banshee? It's still stuck outside the main trying to take care of the Lings. Not the best usage of the Banshee there, unfortunately. But it looks as if Rossi is going to fall here to MoonGLaDe in this best of 7. We are going to have, I would assume, a win here for MoonGLaDe, taking him to a 4-1 victory. And the Roaches are going to be dancing in just a second, I would assume. But the Banshee is still doing what they can, but I don't think there is a way he's going to be able to save it. There are Lings streaming down. GG, well played. Congrats from Rossi, and he leaves the game, and MoonGLaDe is victorious. So, congratulations to MoonGLaDe there, taking the win in this best of 7, taking it 4-1. He did a really good job in all of the games. I think some of the signature parts of his play was being well prepared for all of the drops. He did a lot of really good scouting as well. He saw exactly what was going on in most of the games, like especially that, like we pointed out, that Metropolis game. He actually scouted out really well, saw that there was going to be that medevac drop, and did really well in defending it, and he did that in all of the games. So, yeah, what did you think of all of those matches?
Very good. I feel like Rossi really got into a groove in that Metropolis game, and I think I pointed this out earlier, is I feel like that sort of playstyle like he had on Metropolis, where he's just going Mass Marine Marauder medevac with the Ghosts, I think that suits his playstyle because he likes to expand really aggressively, and having an army that's mobile and out on the map is really good if you're trying to expand aggressively, in my opinion. It lets you kind of take control and know what your opponent's doing, and lets you know where their army's at, so you can kind of try to defend your expansions. But MoonGLaDe showed a lot of aggression in this series. I don't get to watch a ton of MoonGLaDe's games, so I'm not sure if that's what he's kind of known for, but he definitely was sticking it to his Terran opponent in this series. Lots of really aggressive two-base plays, punishing his opponent for being a little too greedy at times.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like he did really good punishment there. Like I think you actually pointed it out during the Shakuris match. It was sort of like, well, this is a position where you sort of sit back and you say, all right, I've defended against it. We're gonna get a lot of economy going, and he actually did the complete opposite of that and just swept in with Banelings and Lings and just absolutely destroyed the natural that Rossi had established. So really going very aggressive there, and I think like. I know, it's it may be a little bit much to say, but a little bit like July Zerg there, with just that constant pressure that he was putting on. So that's something that we see out of July quite a lot. Although, actually, to be honest, I haven't seen much of July lately. So anyway, perhaps NvmOOnGLaDe can bring that back and get some more dominance in the scene. That'd be quite nice for him. Alright, well that is the end of our awesome event here at the Paragon Hotel in Sydney. Again, thank you to Horizon, TT Esports, Grad Connection, and of course the Paragon Hotel for hosting the event. That was a lot of fun. Grats to NvmOOnGLaDe, condolences to Rossi, but he did do a fantastic job throughout the games, especially on Metropolis. That game was absolutely insane. I'm going to be putting the VOD for this on my channel on youtube.com/DuckvilleLol. As soon as I can. We're going to be back after me and Omerta, who's been commentating with me. If you weren't sure who that was, we will be back on board with late night Imber discussions from Sunday night at 1 AM EST in America, or if you're a local person, that'll be around about 3 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be probably having a look at a little bit of Zerg play again, just due to the recent changes, of course, due to Queens, Overlords, and that sort of thing. Please make sure to tune in to twitch.tv/DuckvilleLol. I'll post some tweets and some Reddit posts and all that sort of thing when we're going to do the show. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Any final thoughts overall for that, Omerta?
No, just thanks to you and the Australian Pro League for having me to cast. That was very, very cool. Good games from both players. Zerg OP.
Yeah, just a bit. Winning again, I mean, it's 4-1.
NvmOOnGLaDe just kind of seemed to have Rossi's number in that series. I even think, even the Metropolis game, which he lost, I think he was in a position to win that game for quite a long time, and Rossi was just kind of able to outlast him. But yeah, great games, and thanks for having me on.
No problemos. Of course, if you want to say hello to Omerta, you can tweet him at MLG_Omerta. You can say hello to me at DuckvilleLol, and I'll be sure to say hello to you. Thank you to the guys from APL who asked me to help out with casting this event. It's really good fun to do that, and I hope to help out next time. You guys need a caster as well. And of course, once again, the sponsors. And if you make sure you tweet out the guys on Twitter as well. We've got at NvRossi and at NvmOOnGLaDeAU, just to say hello to them. And yeah, so I'll catch you. Thank you for everyone on the stream for tuning in, and thank you for everyone at the event as well for being cool. Finish your drinks as well. We didn't see any battle cruisers or hydras, but that's okay. You can finish your drink anyway. But yeah, I am going to sign out the stream, and I will see all of you guys next time.